And we're live for a very special Valentine's shadow spread. It's Friday then, Saturday, Sunday, what? I am your hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel. The lights are doing a lot of creepy shit. Mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, and messenger of God. Here on a Valentine's Day Friday. Even though it's Valentine's Day, it's a shadow day for us. So we're going to look at our Valentine's Day shadows. I started giggling because the lights did all that. And I was like, Tales from the Crypt. I am your crypt keeper. The Lilith reincarnated, the between and the betwixt that goes between all worlds. What's up, everyone? In order to keep up with me, you would have had to catch everything that I posted in my community page, as well as my last video. My last video is intense. You know, every time I do a Palladian, they're so intense. I'm very impressed by them because it takes like about a month of my teachings. We don't do them that often, usually only around the full moon, sometimes a new moon, always around planetary movement, obviously, because they're letting us know what the planets are doing, clearly. But we go through all different levels of dimensions of teachings and karma and learnings and everything, only to when those moments come, it brings full clarity to the bigger picture of everything we've learned up until now. And so it's really important to keep up with me. I used to label them with messages from the Palladians, but now they're just, part of everyday messages. So with that being said, on Fridays we look into our shadows. By the definition of, that's where I'm like, this is going to be a big one. We have the moon, the full moon, which pushes your emotions to the surface. The full moon itself is in Leo, which is all about the love. We're in Aquarius season, right? We have all of that going on. The Friday, which is Venus, right? It's filling your heart with love, compassion, understanding. So you get filled with this huge light. And it's just like endorphins, love. There's these huge peaks with these huge crashes. Because you get to this place of full love and light, and then the darkness overtakes, which are your insecurities, your shames, your blames, your regrets, your memories, your fears. Like you feel so good, and then all these self-sabotaging programmings within you come to the surface on just a Friday. But I'm telling you all this extra energy that's pushing a lot of this up. You know what I mean? So even though people are going to be out there, in their love and light, loving their life, for those of us that aren't, it's because we are more in tuned with what the real cosmic plan is. And we can't just put a day on when we're loving. And, we can't put, you know what I mean? We can't force energy. You know what I mean? So a great example is Easter. They know that Easter has to land on the Sunday after the first moon of the spring equinox. They don't know when that day is, but that's when it is. Now, based on that, they can move around Mother's Day and all of that. But there's certain days you can't force the energy. This is when it is. Stuff like that. Now, as far as Christmas, totally forced. Totally forced. They knew when the child would be born by the star. They followed the stars, going back to ancient Egyptians and knowing the time of the seasons. You guys know, you put all of your understanding. Americans go to Punxsutawney Phil in fucking Pennsylvania, which is a groundhog, to tell us based on whether or not he sees his shadow, if we will still be in the darkness for another 6 weeks. I teach you how all of this is actually made and formed to create fear and stuff, but also, the bigger aspect. So, on Sunday, by the definition of the day and the planetary ruling of that day, which is the sun, we were in our light and in our godliness. Okay? On Friday, we are in Venus, which is your heart, your love. All right? We are very loveless beings, and we have to work on that when that planet comes in and messes with us. But now we have not just the planet, we have the season, and the moon, and the stars in the sky that are going to probably make you cry. So you can learn more about that in Vedic astrology. It's called, you know, you had a genetic, you had a DNA outline, a blueprint when you got here, based on the planetary positioning of the moment you were born and exactly where you were born, in latitude. A card fell out. Ooh, interesting card. They knew what you had already accomplished in your previous life and what you were going to go through in this life. Based on those planets, when they would move into your life, you knew what they were going to do. I don't teach you individually, I teach you collectively what these planets mean for us and what it does on just a, you know, basic life form. This is hitting the fucking animals just like it's hitting you. Those of us are different levels. We pull back different levels of it as the lotus, the flower opens, and there's more darkness in there and more light. Right? We do this every fucking Friday night. Friday Night Lights. So even though, you know, they're going to make you, everything's going to make you feel bad, is what I'm trying to tell you before we get into this. This day is designed to hurt you. But that doesn't kill you, only makes you stronger. You're going to go into your hurts. It's made to trigger your hurts. We're supposed to overcome them. We hurt. Bottom line, it hurts. It hurts. You know what I mean? Cupid's arrows have hurt us. So with that being said, I have a whole bunch of cards that I use to dig out the dark. And we're going to start with this one, which is something already taught. Dante's Inferno. Confirmation. Where in our own personal hells and purgatory are we? Now, I got the book this time. Yesterday, this was the image I was trying to describe to you guys through your levels of ascension. I was trying to describe this, and you go no further than here. This is 4th dimension. This would be 5th. Okay? I tell you that I go straight to heaven. I have to go through all of these deep levels. Now, if you look at a map of what Dante said is the Inferno, this he shows as the plane. This is heaven. And then this is the Inferno. And that's how it is. Okay? This is from the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, but it's all described. If you read if you've read the Bible, like we've read the Bible, you know that it's a climb to the highest mountain. And that each level is overcoming a level of sin. And understanding until you live in the spirit. But, again, you have to come, as I was trying to tell you, you crash. Someone like me, I'm here with God all day. Jesus is over here on the thrones, bro. We're all here. That's it. You must understand Jesus to get from here to there. To get from here up here. You know what I mean? Because right here is your archangels, angels. It's in a whole nother form. Give me a second. I have maps to try to describe this shit to you guys, even though it's spread out all over. Is that them? I don't think that is them. Guys, I have over 40 freaking cards. I have over fucking 50 books. I don't know. Give me a second. Fuck, I think it's these, because I'm pulling real deep on them, but it's not. They have the incense with them. They're the Notorias. Help me, Lord. This happened last time I started digging in this damn book. I literally will start throwing them at this particular point, so don't, just hang on. We're going there. Got it. He knew I was going to do it too. I was like, not today. Okay, let me explain it. There you go. See it? See it? See it? Okay. Get close. Okay, you see it? These are your angels. The principalities and your archangels. You to become virtuous, it's in all of your heart. That's where all of this lies, is in the heart. Now, in the body form, they show the 7 chakras lined up too. This is also your chakra system that I teach you through my archangels as well. This is your solar plexus. This would be your heart chakra. And this is the crown given to you by the Most High. Now let me explain how this works in the Tree of Life, right? These are all the powers of God. These are all of God's, you know what I mean? Your understanding, right? So this is you guys, right? You have your angels that talk to you. They're archangels. that are above them. And I teach you the archangels, the principalities, the virtues. Okay, now it comes down to the powers and the dominions. The cherubim, which you should learn, they're all in the Bible, very powerful beings of God. The thrones said that Jesus sits at the highest throne, but still that left of the seraphim. From the moment I was casted, that I left the tree, that I left the garden, I went straight to the seraphim and the cherubim. You'll know of the stories. I latched onto them first, and then I was ripped out of there and casted back into the Red Sea. I made all these places home. I know how to get up to all of these places. But all of these places lie within you. They're inside of you. They're not outside. So right now we're in the darker places of ourselves, the shadow places that we deny, that are still our most powerful places, and that's me as the Lilith. Because I don't fear the darkness, I am the darkness. 18. All right, unbending giant. Dante and Virgil near a plain where sinners are burned by falling flakes of fire and scorching hot sand. One soul, the giant Capaneus, remains eternally defiant, refusing to succumb to the torment and continuing to blasphemy. I saw Lieutenant Dan. You call this a storm? I never took God on. I said a post earlier. It's like, this, I take on the patriarchy. That's what we did today. We took on a lot of patriarchy earlier. It's just what I do. Don't worry about that. That's regular fucking with coffee type shit. So C.S. Lewis had put something. He wants to use his power, his knowledge of the fucking Bible upon people. And he asked a simple question as to, which prophet or which servant of God, made the sacrifice to destroy his land rather than, save it. And I stopped him right there. I was like, well, what did God ask of me? What power did God give me? Is the devil real? Am I not the serpent? Was I not all of these things? But yet I am God's, his tool. And there's those that you praised and those that you demonized. In the sense of, you have to know the whole story. Don't try to cherry pick the story. We all live in the house of God. We all reign, And the one thing about me is I went through all parts of God. There's nobody that stands between me and God. If anything, I don't want to go that far. You might not like that particular comment. But going back to it is, I didn't pick up no wars with God. I just fled from God. And they kept trying to bring me back. Bring me back. And bring me back. It was of my own free will to come back. And that's it. It's like, I still am still me. Like, I don't want to. But I've given up my free will and I've surrendered, but not my mouth. And I bitch and moan and scream from like the moment he made me. That's just how I've been. But in the sense of, you look at it, you've watched, or for anyone new, you have not. But as this story has projected, and I thought about it today when I was in the shower. The first day, the Lilith spirit came over me. I was filled with so much rage and fire and tears, and I was scared of what was inside of my skin. And always have been. And then there's days like yesterday where I'm just laughing. I think I am the best being that God has ever made. And in the sense of, we went from this place of God didn't reject us, we rejected ourselves. We rejected the calling on our lives and the magnificence of what he made us. And that goes back to making fun of you humans, making fun of that particular human that I did yesterday. It's like, you are nothing more than an unhealed version of myself. You reject the calling on your life. You reject your life and you want that of another. Oh, you little Lilith. If you do not learn, you are going to learn the hard way. In the sense of, I have no problem with you learning the lessons I've already learned. I can't save you from that. And that's what we talked about, is like, you are nothing more than me and your dark feminine feelings. Every man, woman, and child. And I'm here to walk you through that shit as I have learned to overcome them in my own skin. But when I first came out here, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. And that's why there's so much fear. And as I said that to that woman today, we took it to a whole nother level. Why did I tell her that? Couldn't even tell you. I was defending Rosy Cheeks, who I don't care about at all. I think is a bitch herself. But Rosy Cheeks has a very strict rule about, you're going to be like, you really did this morning? I mean, the Holy Spirit inside me. And that's what I said too. I was like, that was the most evil thing. You know me, I don't come out for nothing but coffee. I was like, don't fuck with me without my coffee. She said, that's how I am. She didn't know what I said to that bitch. But anyways, these girls are trying to run out with breakfast. Okay, they have a strict rule about it, and I get it because these people are filthy. The rule is you have to come down, give them your room number, because, you know, the government is paying for all of this shit, so they have to keep account of how many people and where all of this food is going. So you're supposed to come down with all of your family so they can head check you, and they give you this lavish breakfast, but you're not supposed to take the breakfast back to your room. It's a fucking rule. At night, no, you come down, you sign in your name, and they give you this lavish dinner, and you can take that shit back to your room. There's just rules to it. I was staying in a fucking shelter, dude, where, holy shit, bro, you couldn't take nothing. There was so many rules. There's just rules. Anyway, so these bitches want to break the rules. So one girl, there's two girls, and one runs out the door with the food. And then she stops the other one, who is very pregnant. And she's like, I told you guys you have to eat in there. She's like standing there with her foods in her hand. She's got 2 plates in both hands. And she's like, well, I don't know. And she just went silent because she didn't know how to lie. I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and she's looking at Rosy Cheeks. And she didn't know how to lie her way out of this. I need to get my keys redone because they were extended. And she just stays quiet with these 2 fucking plates in her hand, with her fucking hand in the cookie jar. And the Holy Spirit inside me, it's like, look at God's children, caught in their lies and in their discord, and just won't do what they're told. And she went to say something. I said, don't you say a word to me, or I will rip that unborn child out of your stomach. I am a wicked witch. Follow her rules and go eat your food where everyone is supposed to be eating. And don't break the rules again. And she turned around. Her friend done ditched her. She got to go sit there and eat quietly and in there as I was making my coffee. You're like, damn, you said that to some bitch? I sure the fuck did. Why? I don't know. Standing in my power. Who gave me the power to do such things? Why would I say such things? That's right, I'm Lilith. God gave me the power to do such things. You're like, you want to be shamed about some of the things you've done, but you don't understand that God was there when you did that. He walked you through it. Some of it you didn't fully understand. Why did I talk to that person that way? Why did I do these things? I'm so ashamed. I'm such a terrible, horrible person. I had sex with a man. You know what I mean? Like, I kissed a girl. You know, all these things. You're like, why did I do this? Understand the why before they demonize you. Redemption is yours. I think it was like the last pages we were reading. Where was the last pages we was on for kids? Nakuzadek. This is all about me. Eve, her daughter's Eve. Hold on a second. I want to show you this. It was like the last thing we read. Redemption, the Red Sea. Give it a break. I'm tired of these old ass stories. In the sense, it just keeps showing me redemption. The redemption is mine because in the sense of I'm reincarnated. I have a chance to come back in this life and learn my very hard lessons and make everything right. And that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. Suppression and denial. No, we're not denying or suppressing anything. It's right here. It's right here. It was written in time that I would do such things. And that's not even the worst form that he gave me. If there was something to be ashamed of, I wouldn't be ashamed of the Lilith because it's my first incarnation of having the universe inside of me and all God's power. And if there was anyone that did it better than me, then that would have been Lucifer, who couldn't harness the power either and used it to become his own God. Okay? So in essence, what did God do? He made me my own God. He made me the only goddess throughout all time. He put all of his power into a female, and that female shall rule. Okay? He did it over and over. Now, as much as Lilith was whatever, it was the first version of God in a female form. And as it was captivating and unrestricted and unlimited. Adam knew no such things until Lilith told Eve. Adam knew of no such things of the power that lied within him. He was nothing more than a child of God as he was created to be. I was not that from the moment I was created. I was a goddess from the beginning, but never destroyed. Always loved, protected, and looked after. But in the sense of, you know what I mean? It was, okay, as you treat me, so shall I treat them. Okay? Now, as far as, you know what I mean, going back to, like, ISIS, there's some weird things I don't really want to talk about ever. Medusa, ever. You know what I mean? Fucking Kali, bro. You really don't know. You really don't know. I don't think there's a God, an actual form of God in a masculine form that he created in any kind of duality to Kali. Even Shiva was not of Kali because he was all, you don't know. And that was, you know what I mean? Like, God created all such things, and all things are good. And all things had their purpose. So going back to it, it's like, you know, as much as I want to be shamed for being the Lilith, what about all of my other creations that he made me? One after another. One mutation of another. What? So going back to it, though, I personally never took war upon God. That was Lucifer's fun idea. Like, I'll take you on. I have all your power. It didn't work. But he didn't, again, he didn't destroy us. He destroyed mankind over and over, as he's come to do again. And that's the difference between, you know what I mean, being divine and being mankind. Some of you put on the flesh. That's all you are, is the flesh. We weren't of the flesh when we were created. He created the universe. And then he created the dirt. Or he created Earth. With everything of the universe. You know what I mean? Each of them. And then he created the people of that. Right? So the whole universe, everything he created of himself, he put into the human form. Right? And then throughout your lives, you were able to explore all different forms of being God. And all different, you know, levels and whatever. Some of you have not, I guess. I'm not sure. As far as your evolutionary, as we start from the very beginning and bottom line of all of this. But there were those, in time, many, who took the God inside of them upon others. There was Cain. You know what I mean? There was Set. There was Loki. There was Lucifer. There was, you know what I mean, Hades. Jafar. Put all these goofy names on all these fuckers. You know, I'm not going to say the ones that are currently in our current reality, but you know what it means is, like, you can be a good God or a bad God, but you're still God. And you're an expression of God, and you're supposed to be, you know, what we're striving to do is be the best version of God, which was, you know, the best humans we ever saw that were versions of God, which was Christ. He taught us. Buddha taught us. Do you know what I mean? There were certain ones on each part of the lands that taught us how to be the best, you know what I mean? How to be the benevolent God that was asked. And that was me in the Kuan Yin. Finally. Right? But it's, you know what I mean? You can have that love and light life. But don't deny the darkness that you're, you know what I mean? Because we're of the dark. Here to be a light. To find our light. So, going into this, there are those, like, I would normally say rust all the time. I haven't gotten into this card. But there's those that refuse to bow. That's all I'm going to say. And that's it, refusing to succumb to the torment and continuing to blaspheme. The expression, the greater they are, the harder they fall, could easily be applied to the stubborn and resentful Caponius. And that's, Kanye right now. His pride was his undoing, claiming that he was so powerful that not even the mighty Jove could slay him. The thunderbolt descended shortly after. This card speaks of the danger of pride and boastfulness. And that's what God said to me first thing in the morning. He said, brace yourself. That's what I said. He said, Russ and all of them are going to put on one hell of a show today. I was like, all right, game on. It's Friday then. Saturday, something. What? When we are too impressed with our own cleverness and capabilities, we can miss our own errors and make costly mistakes. This card also reminds us that it could seem like perseverance or sticking to our principles can be, in truth, the abstinency. Abstinency, yep. Take an honest look at yourself and determine whether your cause is righteous or based in ego. I'm asking for it. I asked for it. So whatever I get, you know what I mean, I get. But in the sense of I've challenged his relationship and all of their relationships all week. I've challenged him since the beginning, but I've gone into, I really tore that girl up yesterday. Now it's a day of love, and he had it by the definition of the day. I'm talking about Russ, my dark twin flame. That's all ego. By the definition of the day and his loyalty to this woman, he owes it to the internet to show how much he loves her by spending obscene amount of money, by being nothing more than a surface level fucking good guy. But in the essence, he knows the truth is, and that's where it is. It's like that he's fucked if he does, he's fucked if he doesn't. If he doesn't live up to society's expectations, which he screams from the highest tower he is not to be that person, and nobody should. But if he doesn't put on a show for this girl on Valentine's Day, then he goes against what the day stands for and what he proclaims himself to be, which is, a good boyfriend, I guess. Are you her boyfriend? That's so weird. Do you say that my boyfriend? My boyfriend? You're a boyfriend? So weird. I was trying to make you a husband. You're somebody's boyfriend. You had to start somewhere. I'm not girlfriend material, obviously. Going into it. And it's like, it's not just him. Royce. I've been tearing Royce and his wife apart. Is he going to put a picture of her up showing how happily married he is? Oh, what about Bridge Fit and NF? Are they going on a Valentine's date tonight? I gotta say, my most favorite prize is my laugh, bro. I hated my laugh. But every time I laugh harder because I can hear the witch laugh in it, and I fucking love that shit. But in essence, yeah, I told Russ that his I've been telling him. And for him to post it, all he does is confirm it. And even if he does it, that's what I was thinking about. Russell, I'm so sorry for you. He can't outdo what he always does for her. There's no outdoing it. There's no amount of money he can spend on her today that he wouldn't spend on her birthday, or he didn't spend on her on Christmas. It's not that a limit. Whatever you want, it's yours. So whatever she wants, he'll get her whatever she wants. But it doesn't mean anything because he'll do it any day. It's just so she can have that post and say that, look at my boyfriend, look what he bought me. And that makes him feel very powerful because he's a good boyfriend and he has that power to buy her whatever she wants. And she's happy and he gets a blowjob and, it's another great fucking Friday. I guess it works. If it works. And then the rest of the time, he can tell her to go away and he can sit alone in his, in his feelings and with his music and with his career. And he only has to come out and buy her some shit and make her take a picture and get a blowjob. And back to his, it works, I guess. If the blowjob works. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm such a bitch. Why is it always with you and blowjobs? Because I'm the succubus. Eat a dick. That's what we talk about a lot over here. Just get over it. All right. Anyway. Take an honest look at yourself and determine whether your cause is righteous or ego-based. There's this dude, his name is Dre Lane. He was Mike Million's best friend. The two of them started the studio together. How did I meet Dre? Oh, this is funny. I met Mike backstage at the Bone concert, but I met Dre. He was filling up the fucking vending machines at the hotel that me and Bobby worked at. This big ass buff guy. And again, my Holy Spirit was like something about him, and sure enough, he pushes his new single on me at that time, which is called 3 a.m. How many of you rappers have made a song about 3 a.m.? What the fuck you doing up at 3 a.m.? Because I'm out there praising God. You guys, so I'm thinking about fucking Marshall's. He made a scary ass 3 a.m. And I'm thinking about fucking Russ's 3 a.m. You guys and your 3 a.m.s. You need to go to bed. You need nigga to go good night. Anyways, he pushes this fucking video on me, and I realize that he's part of the music group that I'm working with. But anyways, they don't end up falling apart. Long story short, which I didn't make short at all, even though this is a short dick dude. He one year, I don't know when, this was years ago. I think it's Valentine's Day or Christmas. He posts what they got each other, which was like very expensive jewelry, but he posted it with the price tag still on it. I was like, that's so ego. Like, it wasn't nice enough just to look at it. You had to show people how much you spent on it while you're over there. He literally made a living out of fucking vending machines, bro. That's what he does. He owns a bunch of vending machines. That's funny. $1 at a time. Okay, Nika. Anyways, he's another one of those washed up rappers. I think they're doing something out here. Okay. That was funny. And that's what I mean. It's about ego-based. That's what this day is about. It's about feeding your ego and showing people that you are not alone. You are not alone. I'm here with Michael Jackson every day. He reminds me every day. I am here with you. And that's what it is. This day is meant to make you feel lonely because you don't have what they have. But I'm trying to tell you what they have is fake as fuck. Bobby don't never post no pictures of his wife, not never. But he might have to today. A nigga might have to today. I'm going to tag that bitch ass today. Tag team. Back again. Check in and wreck you and put you on your friend. In the essence, it's ego driven, dude. If somebody don't buy you some shit, then you're a weak ass bitch. And if you don't buy some shit, you're a weak ass bitch. And if you don't get no shit, you're a weak ass bitch. It's a whole nother fucked up holiday, just like fucking your birthday and Christmas. It's like, nobody loves me. Feel bad. Nobody loves you. Look at how much they love me. That's not love. That's money. And he has fucking... I hear Lil Wayne. I got money to blow, ho. That's what I mean. Russell do it today, tomorrow. He did it probably yesterday. What do you guys eat? He had to buy all your food. He bought you an outfit. He paid for your entertainment. He paid for your hair, your nails. He's paying for the water to wash your ass. He's washing your clothes. Shut the fuck up, bitch. His love is priceless, but you're going to put some kind of picture and price on it today, ain't you? He still ain't putting a ring on it tomorrow. That's it, too. Is that your next level? You're going to make him propose to you? I think we should get married. Oh, shit. Do you have commitment issues, Russ? I might be projecting. Moving on to your ego-based holiday. Today's the day these fucking players play. Let them play. Let them play. They're going to get caught up in their games. It's all just a game and show. It's like, look, Ma. Hey, look, Ma. I made it. Look at my new girlfriend. Look at my boyfriend. He's got a job, and he's got a car, and he buys me things. Remember I asked that bitch, I was like, how do you find one of those? Where do they come from? She said OnlyFans. That's where I haven't put my feet out there yet. I haven't put my foot where my money.
That's only the difference. That's feet on you.
You know, I don't know why my life should be sad other than these fucked up memories that come in. Because really, I have a great life. You guys' reality sucks. I love the people, you know, my children were such So it's like they're total earth angels. They are like so above normal human consciousness. They keep me great company and grounded. They teach me all kinds of things about technology and stuff. I know I'm supposed to be teaching them, which I do, you know, but like the simple shit, for whatever reason, they don't seem to catch on. Like, did you brush your teeth yet? I've only been telling them every day for the rest of their life, but somehow it doesn't really, some things. Going back to it in that moment, it's like, I don't need nobody's company. These guys are the best company I ever had. Like, Three's company. Dude, these musketeers, we are just like, yeah, very much, you know, I'm so sad about the day that they'll leave. Like, damn, they're going to go and be a great blessing in other people's lives. Anyways, moving on. That was funny to me. It's just like, where do you find these guys? On OnlyFans. To upload my butt onto OnlyFans, huh? Just kidding. All right, what's our fucking dark mirror? Ew. Obsession. Oh, fuck, dude. That video turned nasty last night, right? They're going to lose their job. They're, like, going to the bathroom too much, and they're spending all their time looking at you, and blah, 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 blah. Then we heard this one this morning talking about... They're talking about they're driving around your spot. I mean... My pussy's on Broadway is what I hear. And blog... Oh, no. And Pac is always on the block, so I don't know what block you're driving around. And you're going to have to get through the Venezuelans, too. They're on every entrance of this hotel. I can't. This stupid chair rocks. I feel like I'm going to lose it. I'm not making anything up, and the truth is so satisfying. It's like these motherfuckers are terrified of the Venezuelans. I'm Venezuelan. That's what's so funny. You guys are scared of people. I'm sorry, but for real, it's all over the news. They've told everyone across the world that the Venezuelans have taken over Colorado. They told you they were in Aurora, but I'm telling you, they're at my hotel too, and they will fuck you up. He came up to me earlier. He's like, let me give you $1 for a cigarette. And I told him, ¿No tiene miedo de la bruja? He said, ¿Cuál bruja? I said, soy yo. I said, oh, ¿en serio? I said, ¿Nada se pasan si me fuman el cigarro? I said, nah, ya trabajan por Dios, pero yo soy del otro lado. And so I was like, you don't have no fear of the witch? He said, well, which? I was like, me. He said, you're a witch? He's like, is anything going to happen if I smoke this cigarette? I was like, no, I work for God, but I am from the other side. And then he went down, so he'll go in and tell all the fucking dudes, hey, did you know she was a witch?
I don't speak Taco Bell.
Oh, shit. It was good stuff. Anyways, I'm laughing about it, because, yeah, the obsession is bad, bro. And in the sense of, she's like, that's just how God made you. You are the goddess of the moon, and you work with Jesus. Yeah, I told you, you can't kill a witch that's anointed by the blood of Christ. I work for the light, bro. I'm the darkest demon. You can't kill the demon that works for the light, bro. It just doesn't, the curl doesn't curl right. You can't do that. You're going to spiral out of control. But in the sense of God has made me all captivating, I think I'm the best. I mean, honestly, I want to watch me too. You are so funny. In the sense of he made a show out of me, and he shows everyone his works through me. And that's it. It's like, And that's why I would be like, not attention seeking, because all eyes on me. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go again. And it's not based on the views. You guys have no idea. Going back to Jack. Fucking Jack, you killed it, bro. That was the best fucking video. That's just gonna blow up, bro. And the Grammy goes too. That came out too. Jack has been part of my. How long have you been here, Jack? Oh God, I don't know. That's all it is. God brings me in. Like yesterday, I had to go send that message to Christina Aguilera. Like, what? Yeah. Whenever they say. It was hard in the beginning when I had to go after Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. But, you know, here we are. Look at what they did to Diddy. I don't give a shit. I just go and tell them, oh, hey, did you know you came up in my video? The Holy Spirit spoke of you today. Welcome to the dark night of the soul. Meaning your name was brought up in a very holy conversation. I guess you're part of this conversation. So that happened with Jack, I don't know, maybe a year ago or something. And I've sent him messages, I don't know, at least once a month. There'll be some message that I've got to send to him. He's always been part of our soul tribe. Daddy Yankee, all kinds of them. Ice Cube, who else am I seeing? They're all in my open things. Kim Kardashian since the very fucking beginning. I have these open fucking conversations with all these motherfuckers. I just send them the works. I send them the messages that God says to send to certain people. And then I'd be hesitant on my twin flames. I'll be like not even sending them to them. I'm like, you don't need to hear it because I already know you're watching. Then sometimes I'd be like, look, what the fuck I said. Are you watching? So anyways, obsession. What's the number? Number 3. And that's it. So the dark, okay, so the moon goes full and then it'll start shedding. I saw that at the candle. I know I talk a lot. My real world is just a reflection of what's going on in the spiritual world, and I see all these synchronicities, and then it brings me back spiritually. All right, so I was watching the candle last night, and the candle lights up, right? Here's the flame. But it wanes off this way and it waxes off this way. So in the essence of, I saw the moon phases and they show the moon how it's like full and then it like mirrors out, right? It shows it mirrors out. So it goes that way and it goes that way. You see how the mirror, I gotta show you more cards for you to understand this. Okay, full moon. You see how it goes from one side to the other? So like on this side is called the waning. And on this side, if the moon's getting full on the other side, it's called the waxing. You see? There you go. There's the cards. See how it is? There's stages of it. So in the candle last night, I saw the full, and I saw the stages of the moon that echoed off of the candlelight. What did that mean? I don't know. I just recognized it. I was just sitting in the bathtub looking at it, and I was like, it's the stages of the moon through the fire. Interesting. Just had to point that out. Maybe that means something to someone, or maybe not. I'm just telling you what I can see and what I saw. What's the number of the card again? 3. So, we're in your obsession. Let's see. There's nothing else that can replace my focus. That's what I said. Stalker. An elf face and a hair entwined in the dark and thorns stares at a blank, clear, empty, round mirror. Oh, the mirror. Mirror on the wall. And that's what it is you're looking at me, you're stuck looking at yourself. I'm nothing more than a mirror. I'm made to make you look at yourself, just like you are made to make me look at myself. People are just mirrors. We're just mirrors. We're just reflecting. We're just reflecting each other in the sense of good or bad. Good or bad. All things led to one, and then they disappear into one. Until only that one remains. All right. So, meaning you could be in a crowded room and you're looking at all these people and all these faces. You're just kind of, you're scouring the room. You just walked into a concert venue or a movie or, a dinner, a restaurant, a crowded restaurant. You walk into a room, a crowded store. You see all these people. You're scanning them, but all you really see is you. Because as soon as you scan them, all you're thinking about is you. You see yourself moving through this store. You don't see them. You see yourself. They're there. I had that feeling yesterday. I was walking through and I'm like, all these people in the Matrix, move to get out of my way. It's just me in this world. You were just, computer operated images walking past me. No conscious. Anything I say, if I try to make connection with you, you're going to glitch out. Just move through the people, move through the waves. It's kind of like leaves. I'm seeing leaves floating down a stream. You're just a rock and everything just floats by. In essence, they're moving, you're not. But in the movement, you see everything that's not really moving at all. It's a funny thing. It's harnessing it. Anyways, going back to it. We chase comets and mirrors and shadows. Sometimes we actually chase cars. are myths. Obsession is a trick of our perception. Many become one. I'm getting... Everything's going dark. Hold on. And that one bloats as to take everything else. It feels like it, whatever it is, an idea, a person, or object, flavors our life and gives meaning to it. As all the light through the lenses, it converges in a single point, and that point goes ablaze under the greatest fire. But, okay. This goes back to the same card we just read, is refusing to what the fuck? I can't stay on track. They're taking me too far. Hold on. What was the last card? No, that's the Black Moon Roller. It was talking about refusing, taking on authority and refusing to accept the torment. What was it, 18 or something? The Unbending Giant. Remain internally defiant, refusing to succumb to the torment and continuing to blaspheme. This card is also a reminder that what can seem as perseverance and sticky to our principles can in truth be obstinacy. Obstinacy. Take an honest look at yourself and determine whether the cause is righteous or based in ego. Right? Is what that one says. Now let me go back to this one. I know. As the light through our lens, it converges us on a single point, and that point goes ablaze, under the greatest fire. But in truth, more than enhancing our lives, it numbs our attention to the rest. It makes us feel more awake by hiding the rest of the world under a cloud of slumber. Obsession is a drug. In a small dose, it whips. In big doses, it kills. If we drowned inside an obsession, we should close our eyes. We don't die in the darkness. We fall asleep, and then we can wake up more naturally. Obsession is of the mind. It's a desire of the mind. It's not of the heart. It's of the mind. And you get no peace. The word obsession is just that. You're obsessing, meaning you have to have this in your life. It is a desire of your flesh. Your mind needs reprogramming. Your mind is telling you that you need this in your life. Okay, going back to the first card is, is this righteous or ego-based? Now, as soon as I said that, you can say drugs, alcohol, sex, codependency, relationships, success, cars. You can't be seen without a fucking iPhone. Stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? Then you got Russ, who's like, he's programmed that he's not good enough without his fucking Grammy. You got fucking, Lewis, that's programmed he's not good enough without his fucking, his 8-time world champion. He's obsessed about, gaining something that you believe will make you happy. I can't wait for that new season to come out. You're obsessed about a show. You're obsessed about a t-shirt. You're obsessed about a purse. You're obsessed. I can't wait. You're thinking about it all the time. That's all you think about is this thing. But how many things have you given so much of your energy to, and then you actually get that thing, and now you have a new obsession? Obsession is a programming of your mind, which needs self-discipline. It's an inability to tell yourself no. We can obsess about anything all the time. At some point, you need to tell yourself no. Because nobody else can. You know what I mean? Nobody can stop you from obsessing about what you want in your life. What you're trying to put in your life. So unfortunately, we started this video with somebody's obsessing with trying to put themselves in my life. I don't know who the fuck you are. Okay. No, it's a lie. That's a fucking lie. There's a majority of you motherfuckers. But there are some of you that are taking it a bit too fucking far, and I don't have to worry about you, because if you notice, God won't allow anybody in my life, let alone you, scumbag. He won't. He will not. Why? Is it me? No. He fills everybody with fear. If he doesn't give you the strength to overcome your fear, you will never approach me. It's those that do not know that approach me, but once they find out, they'll never approach me again. There are many people obsessing about how they can be part of my life for their own personal gains, I assure you. Okay. God won't let me have a friend in the fucking world. He let Bobby in because Bobby is my twin flame. And that was the only person. He didn't let him in. He forced me to face him. Those are the only ones. And those are ones I don't even want. Yeah, I have to fucking let the ones in I don't want to let in. But as far as the rest of you motherfuckers, nah. Nah. You might have met me. God let me into your heart to spread some good word, but that was it. To plant a seed. That's as far as that goes. You know, obsessing. You know what I mean? But that's just, you know, that's where the video started, is like, they're obsessing about you. I mean, that is all your mind, and it's, you know what I mean, it's desires. You actually have your own reality. I am here to, if you're paying attention to my videos, I'm encouraging you to take a journey with God and, you know, find your purpose. You don't have a purpose in my life. He brings people to reflect back to me the healing I need to do in my life, but he hasn't brought anyone to make my life better. And there is no force outside of me. There's no force inside of you that could force yourself into my reality. You can't be seen unless I allow it to be seen, unless I agree to let myself be seen. I'll walk right past you and you won't see me. And you can walk right past me and I'll completely not know you. That's how fucking severe this is. I've been divinely orchestrated to be very far put apart. You think just because I move through the streets, you know what I mean? Just because everybody plays fucking, you know what I mean, Fortnite doesn't mean you're going to find Marshall out there. You're not going to, everybody's wearing a fucking Eminem skin. Doesn't mean you're going to find the real Eminem in that game. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? He doesn't play the video game. So you're not even going to find him in there. In the sense of... and that goes back to the dark practitioners. I told you before this full moon I was returning anything you sent at me. Number 1, 2, and 3. I've told you for many times that I am not of this world, and that all your shit that you're doing to try to... You know what I mean? All this surface level shit that you're doing is not creating any madness in my reality, because God owns my reality. You are not real. Neither is the reality that we live in, but it is co-created with me and my Father in the purpose of healing myself and others. You don't have an existence, and you wish you could stop somebody's healing, which is just so weird. Like, you don't want someone to be better. Why? Better than you? Anybody is better than you when you're sitting there using magic to make yourself better than them. Good God. That goes back to her. Let me blow up my butt cheeks. Let me spend hours and hours and hours trying to make my body powerful. Very skin deep. Very skin deep. In the sense of, you know, and that goes back to rest. It's like, you can't buy me, baby. I'm not going to love you any more or any less with any of that shit. You don't have to do that for unconditional love. But in the essence, if you don't fucking show up and show off today, you're showing up, there's no love in your relationship, is what your surface level relationship is called to do. You wouldn't have to do that for me today. And that's just it. You put yourselves in these contracts of, you know, falsities. And that's it, too. It's like, I don't know. It's going to be one hell of a show. It's one hell of a show. That's why I'm going to get pretty and go drive around a bunch of these fake loaves. I want to hear all about it.
Get some spicy chicken as well.
Yeah, dude. And that's what I told the kids. You guys want some chocolates or something? It's Valentine's Day. I could buy you some chocolates. She's like, yeah. I was like, we'll eat and stuff. And then later I'm going to drive the date nighters around. Which could end up weird because, like, what if they try to do something weird in my car? I'll throw them out in the snow. That'll be fun. I'll enjoy that. That's why the guy bought all those condoms the other night. He's looking for you. Turn on the lights. Do you have a date for tonight? It's Friday Night Lights. Let's keep moving on with your obsessions. Again, I'm not obsessed about any of that. My book said to explore self-love and use in masturbation. They wanted to know how you like to be touched instead of worrying about touching somebody else and how they like it. If you don't remember, that's what came up in my book. Yeah, it's not, because truthfully, we're spending so much time trying to please others that we don't even really know what's pleasing to ourselves. Okay, too much. Let's keep moving on. What's our next cards? What did we do? The darks. Let's go darker. I'm really liking these new cards. We're going in order, which are the deep, dark, and dangerous, which means we call upon a certain darkness in our darkness to help us through our darkness. These are pretty, right? Just got them. Yes. Oh, shit. Don't fuck up the shit. Hey, look at that shit. Where are we at? Number 4, the dragon. Or were we... Yep, because we left the Kraken out. Now we must be the dragon warriors. Aren't they pretty? Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Where are we? Deep. We're in the deep. Deep. Number 4. We went from 3 to 4. Oh, that's not what I got. I went to hell. Go to hell. I usually do. It's not a problem. All right. Know what you treasure. Change is natural. Holding on to what is impossible long term. Protect what is important to you. Set proper boundaries and trouble may avoid you. Be strategic. Think ahead. Be brave, and you can actually triumph if you try. The duality. Value and not of value. Hoarding and scarcity. Ooh, these are good ones. And that's what it said. You have to be honest about if what you're trying to achieve is ego-driven. Perhaps one of the most well-known creatures of the darkness across many worlds, cultures, is the dragon. From ancient Sumeria, Japan, China, Korea, right across to Egypt in the Middle East, across Europe. Though the Bible and even Sufi poetry all have dragon lore. Now let me ask you this. Why would the dragons only stay on that side of the world? Do you think they did? Why would the dragons only be on that side of the world? I'm just going to leave that to your imagination. While they may have described differently depending on where they were from, dragons almost always have a serpent form, are large, tailed, scaly, and often live in hidden places like caves, deep pools, and inside mountains. Asianic, I don't know, and Middle Eastern dragons are most like great serpents, sometimes with legs, sometimes without, and are often strategic and intelligent in their mythos. Chinese dragons are beautiful and are considered aligned with the element of rain and bringers of good fortune. The European dragon is most often winged and breathes fire or spits venom, as has often been targeted of heroes who kill them in order to win a prize or overcome something, complete a given task, or recover or steal the dragon's hoard of treasure. It is the aspect of their mythos that is intriguing. Dragons can be seen as both gatekeepers and protectors of treasure. What is valued? At the same time, sometimes the dragon collects the shiny gold and jewels for themselves simply because it is beautiful to them. Sometimes the treasure is being guarded for a purpose, good or bad. Yet the dragon must overcome for the hero not to be rewarded with some of the treasure. In the Norse sagas, there is a wonderful story of the hero who makes his money by working out various ways to sneak past sleeping dragons. In the English saga, Beowulf, a slave, steals a single cup of dragon's hoard, and the dragon knows of it and begins to raise the city around it. Beowulf takes 12 warriors with him to slay the dragon, but when they see it, all but one runs. Beowulf battles the dragon, but his sword shatters and he is mortally injured. Both he and the dragon are dying. He tells the one warrior who stayed that he must bury the majority of the dragon's treasure, lest the cowardly soldiers come back to claim it, and he and the dragon die, both without precious treasure. Both terrible and beautiful dragon magic is still strong today. Most films and games still mention dragons and motif appear on flags for sport teams and in popular cultures everywhere. More likely now than ever, dragons are increasingly seen as benevolent, intelligent, and often wronged by humans. The plant companion is the orchid, which, you know, I saw them all over Walmart. And I thought of, every time I see the orchid, I think of DMX. They're like, what? Yeah, bro. He had an orchid garden. Go look it up. You're like, he's such a rough and tough. He was a rough rider, bro, but he was as beautiful and as soft and as sweet as an orchid. And I shared the video last night of Kobe. You know what I mean? He was only part monster. Pac was only part monster. Goes back to harnessing the darkness. Crystal companion is the emerald, or typically gold. Yeah, the orchid. You never expect it. And that's the divine feminine in them. The softness has to be explored in a way, whether it be with a child or not terribly like an uncomfortable way, but in the sense of they get to open up to their nurturing through having their own children, having a dog, you know what I mean, having a plant, a fish, you know what I mean. There has to be an ability for them to open their hearts to where they can pour their hearts out into an outlet. All right. Kobe had 3 daughters and a wife. Do you know what I mean? He couldn't just be a monster at home. He had to find a place to put that monster to rest, where it could play with other monsters. But he wasn't always a monster. And that's Pac. You see so many videos. Pac is the most serious joke I've ever met.
What's that one guy that everyone thinks he killed his wife?
I don't know. Did he kill his wife?
Everyone thinks though.
Who? O.J. Simpson?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because he really killed his wife. Why'd he kill his wife? Love, bro. I'll never let you go. You're not going to leave me. I own you. Men have killed their wives for very many years. Why do women kill their husbands? For freedom. Men kill their wives for possession. Women kill their husbands for freedom. Isn't that trippy? Trippy. It goes way back. It's not even new. Release the dragon. That's another example. That's another perfect example of God's creation of destruction. Why did God create such a being? Like, God didn't create no such being. Why would they tell stories of something that doesn't exist? Oh, are we talking about the devil again? Such a cunt. All right, let's see what I got. I got the Liliths. The Notorias are sitting here, and the Kabbalah, since I just pulled them out of nowhere. I don't really want to. Let's do the Liliths and see where we are. Keep moving on. I'm ready for lunch. What are we having for lunch? I don't know yet.
Spicy chicken.
She wants spicy. She's been eating that for like 3... Dude, once my kids... It's really bad. This is bad for people to do, but I've seen people do it. I saw my ex... I've seen lots of people do it. Once they find something new that they like, they just stop indulging. Like they said, obsessed. She has been eating the fucking buffalo... fucking chicken wings, boneless chicken wings for at least 3 weeks, bro. Like, multiple times. You're like, at least they stopped eating pizza. Yeah, but now they're obsessing about something else. It's like, that's going to tear you up. You know what I mean? You have to have a fair balance of shit that you put into your body. You can't just keep eating the same thing that, you know, and then I was talking shit. Oh, I posted this video. I was like, all right, granted, my stomach is not flatter than yours, and it's got all these beautiful stretch marks, but my ass is bigger, and my titties is real, and I am having cake for breakfast. I really did. I sat there, and I looked at the breakfast. I was like, do I want biscuits and gravy or coconut cake? I was like, I want them both. I'm very hungry. And I did. I ate a small piece of coconut cake while I was waiting for my biscuits and gravy to heat up. It's like, meanwhile, you're over there eating grass like a fucking animal. He's got you on all fours, trying to have some raw meat for fucking Valentine's Day. I know, I'm such a Lilith. What's the fucking shadow? Oh. I'm just a Grinch. Neptune, magic, imagination, illusions.
Another book about Grinch and Valentine's Day and every
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, they had Rumpelstiltskin. He was pretty scary. Do you know about Rumpelstiltskin? Fucking terrifying. 69. Balance. I got that one too. Alright, as I'm over here telling people to eat a dick. Magic, imagination, and illusion. I want to go back to that. So I looked up the 8th dimension. Yeah, I totally live there. That makes sense when nothing has a form and all creativity exists. I tell you that all the time, and that's why I'm rhyming and all these unbelievable great ideas come into me. It's not me, it's where I'm at. It's the stuff, it's the energy that I'm in that just comes through me. I just want to point it out. It's like, it's just where I'm at. At any time, I could be in some other different type of energy. When the Neptune card shows up in the Oracle reading, the universe wants to remind you of your natural superpower. Take time to dive, and okay. I told her yesterday, I was like, you better fucking watch out before I remind him how fucking powerful he is. Russ has become powerless in this relationship. He was a bit of a cocky little asshole that had quite a far reach and pull on, you know what I mean, the industry and women and, all of that, until he stepped into this relationship and into this awakening. The relationship came just as mine did. But again, you ain't bringing that shit into my actual life. But in the essence, all of these relationships came with my awakening. A lot of them had their own relationships that came with their awakening, meaning you've walked into these things. These things were walked into your life as your karma during this time to awaken you. He's my fucking karma. I spend so much time, you know what I mean? Russ, and all of them. It's like, you're only here to remind me that I need to work on myself. Okay, now going back to it is, Jonika's only there to remind him that he needs to work on himself. And that's what it is. Stay by my side while working on me. She would do such a thing. I would not. God is faithful. He needed someone to hold him through these times. And though I keep saying I do, I really didn't. I made it through just fine. And I wasn't, though. I had the Holy Spirit to hold me. Pac had to hold me. They had to pick me up many times. But again, I'm of the spirit and not of the flesh. If you touch my flesh, I'm going to get weirded out. I'm not really a touchy-feely type of person. Yeah, like, I'm not really into touch. I just kind of want to, but because it looks good until you, come over and try to touch me, and I don't want to touch you. That was Mike. He put his hand out. I was like, I'm not touching your fucking energy. I'm not fucking touching you. Going back to it, for the rest of us. He was all powerful in his ego. But then we put him, he went into his feelings, and then here's this girl that's going to bring up all your fucked up feelings. And then we'll throw another one, we'll throw Lilith at you too, that really enhances it. You know what I mean? Going back to Bobby. Yeah, it does say that Lilith is, known for wrecking marriages. I'm just doing what God made me to do. He told me to love you. I didn't want to be part of this, but he just wants me to do it again, like I always do, and do it better. Come here. Let's see if I do it any better. Going back to it, it's like, yeah, your life was all fine until I came into your life. Is it really me, though? No, your life got hard afterwards. Everything else was also put in there strategically to make you wake the fuck up. It's not really me. Your life sucks because you got a suck-ass girlfriend. I'm just over here trying to encourage you to be better. But at the same time, I wasn't. I kept taking away from him, too, and telling him he was a fucking nobody, nothing, and this and that. You know what I mean? As she's feeding him she's demasculizing him, I'm demasculizing him, and he's losing himself in all of this. Which ultimately needed to happen because he didn't know who he really was. Now, after we've, burned him down to the ashes, I can easily come and rebuild him and tell him, which I've been doing all week. Do you know that you sold more albums than fucking Dr. Dre and fucking Snoop Dogg combined with Eminem's help? Did you know that you did all these things last year? Did you know that you ran a music? Did you know that you were a New York Times best-selling author? Did you know you did a fucking movie last year? Did you know that you did all this and she didn't do shit? That even despite all that, you did take care of all your family. You took your dogs out. That was beautiful. You didn't leave them at home. You brought their kid, even the dogs, on adventures. You did all this. Do you know what else you can do? And that's it. It's like, in the beginning, it's like, I started with, you can do all things. And then it's like, no, I guess you can't. You can't. You're none of these things. 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 Now we come back and are you ready to accept that you can do all great things? That you have all greatness inside of you and that it's not from the things outside of you, but you? Long story. It's a long journey. But then it's still the expectation. Okay, I know, but it's Valentine's Day. What am I supposed to do? Don't buy them both the same gift. That came from my spirit guides. They would know better. Nobody. They've already had multiple girls way before you, bro. They know how this goes. Yeah. Here comes Pac all sad on a Valentine's Day. I was married before, I ain't married no more. Just goes to show there ain't no love for a thug. I love you, shut up, you're stupid. Anyway. Everybody gets down in their butt, in the dumps. They told Kobe he was a cheater, he raped some girl, and they were going to take away his whole career in life. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Wait, did you fuck Kim Kardashian, Kobe Bryant?
That's Donald Trump. He's a sex.
I don't want to talk about that. Oh man, that's gross. Alright, when we work with... Okay, here we go. Take time to dive into your spiritual alchemy and manifestational practices. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your creative vision to embody? Paint it, write it, act it out, make a vision board. In any way, set intentions for your reality. When we work with the imagination and treat fantasy as reality, the universe can pick up on exactly what we want and create synchronicities that make it happen. Meaning you're creating from, you see it and you just start putting your energy into it and then it starts to become. But if it's going to be madness and it's going to be destruction, then it won't actually come into form. And if you're too afraid, it won't actually come into form. And that's it. It's like, I'm at the end. We're waning, so we're just letting up all of our imaginations, all the things we did believe in, we're taking off. In the sense of what do you want your life to look at? You should always have that moment, especially on a new moon, which I don't remember when the next one is. It's coming up in like 15 days. And that's when you really want to think about it. I don't manifest from my imagination. I mean, I don't think of great things and then how to bring them into my world based on what I see. Imagination is based on what you've seen. So you see something, you're like, that's a great idea. I think I'm going to do that with my life. I don't do that. It's literally a spark of idea. So this last one, what came to me was the music. So that was 15 days ago. They told me you're going to start writing music. For the last 15 days, they've been slowly giving me, I got 12 songs, and I've gotten probably within those 15 days, 4 concepts of those songs. I'd say 4 or 5 of those songs I have concepts for. One of them last night, I even had lyrics to an actual hook. All right, so we're building up. All right. Now, other parts of our areas of our lives will be shedding. And then again, when we go to the next manifestation, they'll give the next tool of how to move forward. But we'll still be working with it. We'll still be working, you know what I mean? I still have my music, but every time I put it on, it's just putting on a little bit more into that music, more ideas. Nothing concrete yet, because manifestations are only of the mind. When you take the action, you have to wait till the action comes. That action where it's like, now you have to go and do this. But there's a lot of preparation before the doing. Because in essence, it's not that you're taking the time to be logical about it. Is you're taking the time to let it unfold. So then when it is time to move, you have already seen the entire blueprint. It took a lot of time. But now, in all of that time of just waiting and watching, you can literally get the job done in 5 minutes, instead of trying to find all of these pieces to put together. You've let them pieces put themselves together, and now you just apply it on a piece of paper. Right? So, like your resume, bro, that thing takes for fucking ever if you really actually have had any experiences in your life. So you sit there and you write down all your fucking experiences, bro. Like me. I've had over 30 jobs. 30 paying, that I could put on paper, that I could put a logistical fucking title on and use this to get me a job in some type of field. So I put them all down. right? Put down all the jobs you have. The idea is I want to get a job. Okay, we're going to look at all of the skills I have, which is, again, write down all the jobs you've ever done. Okay, now that's your work history. You write down all the jobs you've ever did. Now you're going to write down your skills. What did you learn from each of those? Which is your experience, okay? What did you experience during this job? And what skills did you learn? Next, if you want to go into interview, is what was the most challenging things you learned at your last job? They want to know this. What did you learn from this position, right? Are you a learner? What did this position give you? What was the point of having that job? Why did you have that job, and why did you leave that job, and what did that job contribute to you, and what did you contribute to that job? It's basically what that interview is going to look like, more or less, depending on what the idiot on the other side of this is scripted to say to you. Know the questions, you know the answers. Anyways, going back to it. So then you take a list of what are your skills. Okay? So you put all those down. Now, if you're like me and you have over fucking 20 years of work experience, you're not going to say that. I'm not going to put down that I was a Walmart stalker if I'm going to be working in the front of the house. I'm not going to tell them about my back of the house experience. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be working with people, I'm not going to tell them about individual positions where I didn't work with people, but all of my jobs were pretty much with people. If I'm going into something hospitality, I'm going to show them that, yeah, I worked at restaurants, I worked at hotels, I worked at retail. Those are all customer service. Each of them were different atmospheres. I learned different things about working with people in all of those different areas that I think I can use here at this, working with your type of people, right? I'm not going to try to get a job. I'm not going to tell, a front desk associate position that I was a stripper.
What?
You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell them that I do snow removal, you know what I mean, at the Federal Center. None of this is useful. None of this is fucking useful. But I do all of this. I can use all of this. But what areas of life do you want to know that I can, you know what I mean, that contribute to what I'm looking for right now? And that just goes to show you, when I sit down, it's like, what kind of job do you want? You done did everything. You can walk yourself into anything based on what you said. Meaning, I could tell you all of these labor jobs that I've done to get me a front-end position in a labor position. And that's what it is, too, is I can do recruitment. I can do contract work. I can actually be the person with the hard hat, or I can be the person answering the phones, contracted the workers, and making the bids that gets this fucking job done. Outsourcing materials and employers and labor, doing all of this. I can do all that. I learned how to do that in hotels. And that's just it. It's like you learned something here that they use everywhere else. You know what I mean? I learned the opera system, which is an operating system for hotels. There's one of 3. I'm a master at the opera system, which is it's just a program used for the hotels. Meaning any hotel that uses that opera system, I have a certificate in that, and I can master the use of that fucking system. I learned it. You know what I mean? I learned it in 2 hotels, but it's used in 1/3 of all hotels across the board. Okay? And that's why they want you to know Excel, because they use Excel in all areas to excel your life. They want you to know how to do a bullet point, you know what I mean, presentation like I'm doing right now, where we're hitting all the points so that you can present yourself properly. They want you to know how to write an essay where it's 3 paragraphs, you know what I mean, supporting the main subject of why the fuck we're talking. Why are we talking right now, and what is the closure of this conversation? Send me a memo. Send me an email. This is all shit that they teach you throughout college, which they should have taught you in fucking, you know what I mean? Some of it they teach you in grammar school and middle school, but by that time we're ready to be adults and we're about to leave school and go get a job. Because, you know what I mean, we need money, is what happens. The education gets a little fucked up. Now, going back to your imaginations and illusions and all of this, you see the lifestyle that you want for yourself. Before you start putting all this work into that lifestyle, where'd you see that at? Where did you see that at? And why do you want their life? You saw it on somebody else, bro. Just be honest. That's me talking about your authenticity. I don't know what God wants for my life. He doesn't want me to live like you. He gives me all these weird ways of how to make money and how to live differently than anybody that had ever lived. And that's the definition of authenticity. He gives me a life that is different from all lives. I don't create a life that I think will look like everyone else's. Because I just, you know what I mean? And that's it. Why don't you get a regular job? God didn't make me regular, and there's not a job I haven't already done. And that resume doesn't work anymore when I walk in talking spirituality and wearing a fucking necklace that shows that I'm a witch. There's a whole lot of things that are stopping me, dude. There's a whole lot of things. What is it? God. God. He wants me to be a priestess, not anything else. But he finds ways for me to make money in my priesthood because I had a whole battleground with him down in fucking Las Vegas about this. You're going to allow me to put my hands in something, to have some kind of, you know what I mean, some kind of control in this. And that's not true. It's just, he keeps me busy. I don't have any control, and that's free will. It's like, my life is your life. You show me how to live this life. Show me what to do with my life every day. Now, going back to it. Manifestations. You see a life that you want for yourself. Okay. Be careful, because, you know, that's how my twin flames fucked me up. I saw this, what I thought was the future with these guys, which was actually a vision that was stuck in my subconscious from a previous life we already had. I see what we don't have, and I'm going to make it real, but later I find out we've already had this. That's why I can see it. It's something that's already been, not something I must have. I've already had this, and I'm trying to recreate something I've already had. Very careful with your visions, what you're looking towards. Lewis wants something that nobody else has had. But why does he want it? For all the wrong reasons. And that's like, call Guinness Book of World Records. Why? They have weird things in there like the longest toenails. It's not really, you're not setting a record. Somebody will come and break that, no problem at all. I just want to point that out. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your creative vision to embody? Paint it, write it, act it out, make a vision board in any way, set intentions for reality. When we work with our imagination and treat fantasy as reality, the universe can pick up exactly what we want and create synchronicities to make it happen. Neptune's cosmically thins the veil between natural and spiritual worlds, so you can channel your visions into reality through your imagination. And I've said that from the beginning. I see how this story ends. I can't force it. I can't make it. I can't see how it all turns out. I just know how it ends. The beginning and the end. We sit here and we watch it unfold. It's the unfolding of the creativity. Now, that's going back to, you know, the end of times and how all of this falls and blah, 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 blah. But going back to it is, you know, you guys you can see what God wants in your life. And it can be impossible, as it usually is. You don't believe, I guess that's that unworthiness where you're like, I can't believe that I can achieve such things, that such things are being asked of me, that this is my life and that this is what you want of me. Believe it. You know what I mean? Believe it, number one, and you can achieve it. That's it. But don't put your beliefs into, you know what I mean, a great idea. It's like, you know what, you see this ad that, you know, you see this family that's happy, they're all going to Disneyland, and they're running a special that week, and you're like, you know what, we should jump in on that fucking special. They're only $99 that week. Do you know how many people are going to be there for that $99 week? You're part of the masses. They totally got your asses, bro. You're like, the first idea was the best idea, and now you think you're getting a fucking deal because they're 99. No. Because they're going to up the fucking hot dogs to $99 now, too. And you're going to have to stand in a $99.99 line. Like, what the fuck, bro? In the sense of... Watch it. Don't get excited off of every idea. How do you know you're working with the intuition? Because it's impossible. Because it brings up fears. Because it asks you to do something greater than you ever did, but something you've always wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like, when you're creating out of cockiness and confidence, you're creating out of your ego. Meaning, I got this shit. Watch me whip. I got this shit. You know what I mean? That's out of your ego. Your heart is pushing you to be so brave, to do things you've never done, but you always wanted to do, but you were too scared to do. Those are the things that you're trying to fight through and trying to create. You know what I mean? And that goes back to last night. Did you see that? They brought back that song. Oh, I shared it. I couldn't remember the words to the song, but I bet Bobby does. I wrote that song to him, and it was hard. And I played it for him that night, back to back, and then he left. And I didn't see him again for 2 years. He knows the words to that song. And that was it too. It's like, you know, like they're bringing back the music. It's like, I still have a lease to that song. I could still write it for the next 10 years. I can make it bigger and better than it ever was. Now that it's not what I thought it was. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of it. It's like, oh man, they're bringing back the music. They're bringing back all the fears, all the excitement, all of everything again. It's like, I can't rush it. It'll come when it's time, but it's coming no matter what. It's coming. And that's it. It's like, you know, you always wanted it. And that's like, what did you want your life to look like? And then I saw it today, too. So parked in the parking lot. This is really giving up our fucking location. Somebody has the exact same, I won't say the one I want, but the same designed RV parked in the parking lot where it has the bunk beds. I know it because of the windows that are on the back side of it. I haven't been in it. But it's parked right in front of my room. It's taking up like 7 parking spaces in the parking lot. They have the RV, and and I parked right next to it. And I'm just looking at it, and I was like, my car can't pull that. But as I sit there having every cigarette, I'm looking down at this RV, which is my dream, and that's the synchronicity. You're going to have one of those. You're going to pull one of those away one day. Where are you going to go? I said, where am I going to go, God? Am I going to Alaska? Where are we going to take this thing? What beautiful national park will I be at? Where will I see the birds? What animals will be out there? Where are you going to take me, God? Because that's what I saw last year. I'm going to get me a trailer, dude. And I'm going to be one of those people that can hook up at the national parks as one of their hosts. This is going to be amazing. And I'm getting real close. I'm sitting here patiently waiting for those taxes to come through so I can get that trailer. And there's one right in front of my room at the bottom of my stairs, parked next to my car, reminding me of what's to come. I have dreamt about that before God said. I have dreamt about it for years and years and years. I'm going to get me a trailer. I'm going to take me and my kids, and we're going to perform music. I'm doing much more than that, but now it's all coming together. And those are things that's unconventional. That's unthought of. That's you can't do that. That'll never happen. You don't. It's not going to be real. Nah, bro, it really is. But only through God is it. I couldn't really do it my way. Not when his way is so much more magical. So let's go back into this. Neptune cosmically thins. In astrology, Neptune is the planet of illusion, dreams, and spiritual unknown, psychic abilities, creativity, deceit, and seclusion. As Neptune moves through the sky, it connects with the other planets, creating fantasy, bending reality, and can cause what was once deemed solid in our lives to dissolve. Neptune in Roman mythology is Poseidon, in ancient Greece, was the god of the sea, complete with his powerful trident. Neptune is the modern planetary ruler of the spiritual water sign of Pisces. It is, are we going into Pisces season? That comes up next, they're showing me, something like that. It is a generational planet. People around the same age share the same Neptune placement, making its transit a collective experience. Your Neptune sign calls to tell you how to channel magic and your imagination in this lifetime. It also can provide shadow work around self-sacrifice and addiction. Find your Neptune placement in your birth chart and match it to the following list. I don't want to read them all. I'm going to take a breath and let you just read them. So if you were born like when I was born in 82. Rebellious beliefs is how we channel. If you were born before then, transformative creativity. Now, if you're part of the younger generation, which is, those guys, the dirty 30s, that would be you guys, structured vision. You have to put a lot of structure into seeing it. Not us, we just have to believe it. We have to believe it. You have to actually see it. My kids, humanitarian service, by helping others. That's how they channel it. The newer generation is through their imagination. That's my son. He spends all his time in his imagination. I never ask him what he really sees, but he spends a lot of his time in his imagination.
Maybe he's schizophrenic.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so and then the Notorious is sitting in front of us. So you have to, they're working with your visions, which goes back to the awakening, and I talked about that as, working through your subconscious and what God's trying to show you. He's trying to give you visions for what he wants of your life. It all starts there. He gives you a vision. Beautifully. You just have to believe in what he's showing you. And we brought out the Notoria cards, so we might as well read one. 55. which is an angel number. These ones go in order.
Boring.
Boring. Mebahaya, the eternal God. Invocation. Tu atiam domini in deuterium permanius et memorili tuiam in generation. I don't know. Probably not. Let's see. Grants our subconscious a clear and shining intellectual lucidity. Yeah, lucidity, capable of transmuting the information of the material world that comes from our 5 senses. Stop right there, bro. It's exactly what I told you about the 4D, the awakening. Okay, and that's what I was talking about too, is Neptune and the intuition and the subconscious. Okay, it grants your subconscious a clear and shining intellectual lucidity, meaning the visions. You're capable of transmuting the information of the material world that comes from your 5 senses. That's the awakening. Your clear senses awaken. Freeing us from the limitations, all right? That's your mutations, your transformations, but it's actually kind of scary is because they're not very limiting. You can start to hear, you can start to see, you can start to feel. You know what I mean? Like you'll feel energy, you'll see energy, you'll hear energy. This new capacity for understanding will give rise to desire to create and share what we receive from above. So all I talked about yesterday is how we get information and we're supposed to use that information to create new realities for people here. We're antennas to what God is trying to do, the workings that he wants here. He wants us to create the new world based on our visions, his visions of the world. We are nothing more than tools, you know what I mean, to create in his behalf. Each of us are given ideas. He wants us to create those ideas. If you don't create it, he'll give the idea to someone else. You're not the only one that he can give a vision to. The point is not because the vision is for you. It's that you are the one that can receive. He believes, again, going back to your skills, you have the power. But many people have the skills. Many people are called, few choose to do it. Many people had this great idea. But only certain ones, and that goes back to Russ, only certain ones are going to walk in this, you know what I mean, fearless idea, then take the risk to create something that they themselves have never done but think they can do. And God says they should do, and they walk in the doing of it. If not, he'll give that idea to someone else, and someone else will walk in this. But it's not about the power to the person. It's all glory to God of the creation that has now given more life to us. In the sense of, we need better music. Music sucks. God's like, all right, I'm working on it. If they would listen, I'm trying to get people to make better music. He's like, we need better foods. We need better clothes. We need better stuff. All right, I'm trying to get the people to grow, but they don't want to listen to me. I'm trying to get the people to fucking create better clothing, but they're not seeing my vision, and they're, you know what I mean? They don't believe that this will work. God knows what we need. And he's trying to use you to create exactly what the people want. But you don't see this as being profitable, or that you being worthy of this being a powerful place or a powerful move. But he's giving all power to you to move in a direction that he believes is going to be powerful to the people. Down to some of the grace. I love to eat. Like right now I'm hungry. I'm going to go in the store and look at other people's creations. I eat out of a microwave, bro, mostly, and now an air fryer. I have to go and see what other people have created. You know what I mean? I can't be in the kitchen and get all of these raw materials and create something for myself. I have to eat what has already been created by the minds of others. Okay, so maybe God, you know, he wants you to create a masterpiece. He wants you to come up with a new soup. Well, fuck, when we go to the fucking restaurants, they only have so many soups. It gets a little annoying. You know what I mean? They want you to create, you know what I mean? He wants you to create a new car, a new engine. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Nobody ever thought we would be running off of corn oil.
Corn oil? What?
Yes, bro. That's pretty much what the new gas is. It's corn oil. And then you go back. We saw a fucking, when I was riding with, oh, it was so beautiful, bro. It was a 57 Chevelle going down I-70. I'm like, bro, with a V8. It's like, you can't put no corn oil in that motherfucker. But look at where technology has taken us. And that goes back to Marshall. Marshall fucking Mathers, bro. God gave him an idea. to completely change an idea for a platform that would give a voice to unheard music, where he himself could channel it, where it didn't go through the patriarchy of what it is now. A full hands-on experience for the artists and for those for the entertainers and for the crowds, to where they themselves from home, from their own spaces, could determine what was good music. It was amazing. He had the blueprint of it. He can't work on that if all he's trying to do is work on his own career. He can't work on the careers, you know what I mean, the change of, you know what I mean, the technological change of music, when all he's trying to do is technically change his own music. It's crazy. You're like, what did he tell him? I can't tell you. It doesn't matter. Even if I told you, you couldn't do it. It's only something that God has given him the power to do. And that's it, is some people can't do what you do. They will never be able. If you don't create this, then we'll have to wait till you come back another lifetime and do it. And that's Benjamin Franklin over here, who's dead asleep. Oh, he's finally awake.
No, he's been awake.
Albert Einstein. Only he could come back and do what he does. Only God gave him that spark. Only he can have that power. And that's me as Lilith. Only I have this power. Many have power similar to my power, but it's my power. And with great power comes great responsibility. You know what I mean? Truthfully. And that's it. It's like, you know, God wants him to do something even greater that's going to change music forever. He came out with the idea I was going to change music forever, which he did, but it didn't stop there. God had a bigger plan of how you were going to continue to change music forever and ever and ever for everyone. You know what I mean? You're like, what do you say? I can't tell you, dude. I can't tell you. I can't tell you where to start. A pack of Legos. Legos, bro. It started with some Legos. Just Legos. And imagination. It happened so fast. He has the blueprint of how to do it. And he has the group. He has the experience. He knows the people. But at the same time, I also told him that he was also supposed to stand and, you know what I mean? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I mean, it was me, but now looking back, we know it was Marilyn. I kept talking about his, you know what I mean, his voice. Telling him Mr. President and all this shit. I was like, you could have so much, your voice could be so heard. If it's important to you, you could stand in politics. You can make a change in politics. So, you know, I told them to go out and see so many areas, but they couldn't grab every bag. You know what I mean? It was, you know, going back to my videos, and that's why I was like, how did you have the nerve to be mad for what they grabbed? It was a free-for-all. And that's what I am, and it's the 8th dimensional. I just bring it all down. It's fucking Easter, bro. There's Easter eggs hidden everywhere in all of my videos. It's like, take it. It's for the taking. It's creativity. It's love. It's light. It's inspiration that can make your life and other people's lives better. And that's it. They went out there and went through my videos, and they grabbed what they could, and they got to work. Each and every one of them. The only one I don't know what they did, the only one I never know what he did was NF. He just looked at it all, and he watched everybody feed off of it, I think. I don't think he touched any of it, to be honest. He didn't know what to do with it, but as he watched everybody else tear me apart for it, he didn't know he didn't know if it was good. He didn't know. And especially as I would come back and forth and tear them apart for touching it. It's like it was the forbidden tree. It was apples everywhere. Forbidden apples. You know what I mean? Like, if I make a song about this, if I do this, they'll know I took it from her. And that's it. They didn't care. They didn't care. They could care less where it came from. They just wanted to take it and say it was all theirs. And he watched as I just persecuted him. You came out here and pretended like you had all this power. But I gave you this power. You pretended that you were all of this. I don't know what NF did, bro. He watched it. Many have watched this for so long. But it was only those of, you know what I mean, the full ego and pride that really got their hands dirty. And do you fault them? I tell you not to. For this is just who they were before. But yeah, It's something else. I'm just sitting here rocking in my chair like, And you go back to Kanye. What happened? Kanye woke up, bro, and they started showing him stuff outside of this universe. And he tried to use that knowing as control over these people. That knowing is supposed to use to release the oppression of the people. But he started using it to oppress people. And that's where it got bad. And that's what I go back to. It's like, you can't use your knowing of God to oppress people. That's a Christian act. Because you don't know God if that's what you're doing. God's words liberate people. You don't make them feel smaller. You make them feel bigger. You give them faith and hope. You give them compassion and understanding. You give them joy and love, forgiveness, long-suffering, and patience. All the fruits of the Spirit is what's found in God's message. Not fear, persecution, damnation, you know what I mean? Unforgiveness, disloyalty, all of that. That's all of the flesh. You use his beautiful, godly words that are sent here to liberate, and you use them to oppress and persecute. In the name of Jesus Christ, you are not worthy. You're not worthy of God's graces or mercies, and you shall never see God's kingdom, is what you say from the highest towers of every hour on a Sunday. It's how his children are not worthy of his love when Jesus bled his last drop to prove that they were. And yet you come and you blaspheme the blood that they are covered in, saying that they are still not worthy of their Father who art in heaven. Don't use that. And that's kind of what it goes back to, is like, you know what I mean? I know somebody. You know who? Kanye, Kim, Lewis, Marshall. Yeah, I know them too. They're really nobodies. Knowing them has gotten me nowhere in life. Look at their lives. Yeah, Kim, Marshall, Lewis, and I guess Kanye, because they said his wife is leaving him, are all just as single and fucking washed up on Valentine's Day. They're all doing a whole bunch of fucking masturbating, huh? Try to rub this one off. Alright, let's move on. What does it say? Freeing us from our limitations. This new capacity for understanding will give rise to desire to create and share what we receive from above. Only undue urgency could block us prematurely. If the desire for fulfillment comes to overtake and precede action. Ooh, the principalities. In the tarot, it's the world, which means the end. Planet is Mercury. The sign is Capricorn. Erotistic is Two of Swords. That tells you everything you need to know. Two of Swords, gotta make a decision. The world, everything comes to a completion. Mercury, push to your limits. I just want to point out Mercury's retrograding again soon. Watch out for that. Capricorn is your elevated status. Watch out for all of that stuff. Well, that was a loaded card. Again, I am here to always inspire. I call this the burn, build, burn. Right? I'm going to burn you, I'm going to build you, and then I'm going to burn you. And then we'll build you back up later, Buttercup. But truthfully, we got to burn down the perception of what you think it is and build it back up to something greater than what it really was, which is the whole description of alchemy. Is breaking it down to its raw materials and rebuilding it based on those raw materials into gold, into something better than it ever was, or just taking raw materials and starting at that and building something amazing into it. We have to break you down to your rawest material, your Adam and Eve sense, where you are nothing more than a child of God. Make you understand that you are indeed powerless to God. Ask for God. And then start walking in the adventure that he has for your fucking life. In the sense of, yes, you lose control of being God of your own life and all the responsibilities you have every day to live your life to the highest, you know what I mean, expectation. But that in itself gives you the grace and peace and mercy that they say you're denied because you yourself, in fact, have become God. And therefore, you do not allow God to play God in your life because you're too busy being God. It's what they describe. Now, what is the sacrifice? Reprogramming. It's really hard not to control your day. You're so used to having control and you say what goes every day and how to live your day. That's real hard. But I can tell you, when you start to learn it, and you'll see it in my videos, he has better plans for your day. And if you stop kicking and screaming, the whole plan is for you to have a good day. That's all he really wants every day. I promise you. But you're like, no, but this wasn't going to make me happy. No, but it will. But it doesn't. But it will. And that goes back to, I don't want to wear my jacket today. You're going to need your jacket today. I don't want to wear my jacket today. You're going to need your jacket today. And that's just God. He's that serious about you. He's very possessive, controlling, loving, very jealous. And that goes back to whoever's obsessed. He's not sharing me with you. He's not sharing me with anyone. This is much as he gives all of me to everyone equally. You don't get a special part of me. Why? Because you don't have a special part of you that you're going to give to me, is what he said. That's what I heard. As soon as I said that, I was like, why? That's why. As far as what your obsessions are, that's your mind wanting something that probably God doesn't want for you, but you won't take no for an answer. That's very difficult. You know, it's a no. God rarely says no. He really does. He rarely says no to his children. He kind of spoils you in that sense. He doesn't say no. Okay, he won't give it to you. But he also is like, if he tells you can't go out tonight, he knows that you're going to sneak out anyways. And he's going to follow you. And he's going to watch you. And if something goes wrong, he's going to kick that guy's ass. But otherwise, he's going to have you followed all the way home and all the way into the bed. And he's going to let you pretend like you didn't know that you went out last night. And he's going to cook you breakfast and smile in your face and ask you how you slept and everything when he knows the whole fucking truth, because he was there protecting you the whole time while you were doing this. He made plans. I'm going to tell her she can't go out, so make sure you're outside when this happens. Right? Going back to Lucifer. Did you know that Lucifer... Yeah, I fucking know. I got a plan. Watch. This was part of the plan. God knows. When you're doing that shameful act, he is so right there. Like, God's not there. The fuck he isn't. He walked you straight into this. He knew you was doing that tonight. People want you to feel bad about those moments so that you won't face God. They want you to feel like God doesn't love you in those moments, and that he's abandoned you, and that you shouldn't have gone to those moments without God. He was there. He watched you. Now, here's the magnificent part about God. You can go through Jesus to do this. Many people go to a Catholic priest or wherever you want to go, but when you come to God to confess, say, God, I don't know if you know this, but I had a one-night stand last night, and I did some dirty shit, and I don't know if I have an STD. I don't know if I'm going to get pregnant. I don't know if that guy's ever going to call me. I know I was just being a fucking total fucking insecure whore bag, and I just wanted someone's attention, and can you please make sure that everything's going to be okay? He's going to be like, I sent you that dirt bag. Did you have a good time? That is the God you do not know that I want to teach you about. That's my God. And that's the same God that Jesus knew. Like, no way. Well, do you know Jesus' story? What did he do to Jesus? I always think about it. It's like, damn, bro. Did he give you the numbing of the flesh? Like, fuck. Like, Jesus wasn't scared. He's like, all right, they're about to beat your ass and rip your skin off next. What? Yep, be ready, my son. Oh, fuck. All right, God. We're about to crash your boat. What? Hold on. Brace yourself. That's that moment with God. If you go through man to get to God, man's going to make you feel bad. God's going to make you feel better. And that's what Jesus told you, is you didn't have to go through these people to know your God. And that's what I mean. When you wake up the next morning, tomorrow, any of you that make a really fucked up, what you decide is a mistake, or you just have an experience that you keep experiencing and haven't learned your lesson tonight, and you come to God in the morning with shame, guilt, regret, embarrassment, he's going to wipe you off. He's going to wipe your tears off your face and say, it's okay. I still love you. Maybe not do that next time. That's God, bro. He's all forgiving. But here's the really, really important part about this fucked up story. Is he wants you to be that way with everyone else. He wants you to accept that they made some mistakes and they're all filthy and you just got to forgive them. They didn't know what they were doing. When they come to you, mostly a real heartfelt apology is they just they didn't realize they were being an asshole. They didn't see what they didn't see anything but their feelings. And when they come back to you and they want to apologize, you owe it to them to, don't make it worse. They already feel bad enough. If it's a real heartfelt apology, like, damn, I fucked up, bro, and I am pretty sorry. You don't have to be like, well, are you really sorry? Do you really, really feel sorry for what? That's not what God does, bro. That's what man does. They want you to really feel it. They want revenge. They want justice. They want you to feel the pain that you made them feel. They want, you know what I mean? They want atonement. God says you are forgiven. He didn't ask for your newborn son. He didn't ask for you to put up a goat. He asked for you to learn. So I just want to tell you that. You know what I mean? And me, I know. It's like, you still love me? Yeah, I love you. Quit fucking being such a bitch all the time. And that's it. It's like he doesn't not love you for what you are. He made you what you are. He wants you to love you. And just, and loving you, you learn to be better. So, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Friday. Dig in that bag of, emotional trauma, drama, and baby mama type shit. If you're going to make it's not a mistake and it's an experience. It's not a mistake, it's an experience. If you keep reliving the same experiences, you're not making the same mistakes. You're still learning from your experiences. You're not learning from the same mistake. You're making new ones each time, right? You think you're getting better, but it's getting worse. Don't crucify yourself, and don't let other people. Because Jesus already died on the cross for our sins. Not that we were going to be sinless, but so that we don't have to fucking be hung for when we did make mistakes or had experiences that they call sinful. Hey, I love yous. Later, saters. Bye.
Look how much money I've saved up.